Listen, Cameron and Mase finally released the highly anticipated It Is What It Is episode featuring Stephen A. Smith.
Now, I can't speak for what he felt, but I let him know what I felt.
Just gonna get all into it. I ain't gonna waste a whole lot of time. Now, for this particular portion, I want to touch on basically is the Max Kellerman situation. They spoke on the Skip Bayless. We're gonna get into that as well, but also Stephen A. Smith. He finally exposed what really took place. With Max. Now, him and Max Kellerman kind of got thrown together. It was almost like, I don't want to say it was a knee-jerk reaction. Clearly, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp was on to something. If y'all know where I'm going with this, make sure you subscribe. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. If you rocking what it is, make sure you subscribe. Peace and love. Now, listen. Now, they got thrown together because Undisputed, they was brewing. FS1, that Shannon and Skip, we got to remember this time. I know we in today, but remember when all of this was popping off, when they initially split. I'm talking Skip and Stephen A. The FS1 Undisputed was coming on strong. You understand? Before they even dropped the episode, the promotion, it was almost bullying the networks. As much promo that was out there letting it be known that the new dudes is on the block now, and I don't know if they just threw Max in there, and they wasn't a perfect pairing. I didn't really like when they initially split, when Skip and Stephen A, because whoever sat in that seat is a pressure cooker. It's like, what is this? I mean, we used to this when here comes this. But he said that in so many words that he didn't believe that those two could work together. It wasn't a good pairing. They went as far as they could possibly go, which wasn't even that long, but clearly I think he was, and he said that he said all of this to his face. Clearly, I believe it's no love lost. It's business, obviously, but I do believe that these two do not like each other. Okay, y'all ain't gonna work together. Y'all can't do nothing together. You can't get on none of them shows. What about Max on boxing? And Max doing his thing too. Max starting to turn up in his own lane. Maybe that's probably gonna work out for all parties involved. Just because he wasn't on First Take, that don't mean that it's over for Max. As you can see, Max is starting to make a big name for himself. Could all this have been possible if he was sitting on First Take? And that was just everything. Remember, First Take is it all out there on ESPN. Make no mistake about the situation. Everybody pulling up to see First Take. So now clearly they separated, and he said that he believed that they wasn't going to win. And clearly I believe that was because you had Skip and Shannon going off, especially when they came on the scene, and they had pressure, to continue to remain number one. Undisputed was getting ratings. They was beating them a little bit too. I mean, don't let it all fool you, because I know Stephen A was making it seem like they running away with number one, which they are number one, but I'm just saying Undisputed was coming on strong and made a name for themselves as well. So don't discredit what they were doing, but let me know about Max. How'd y'all think how Max fit on the show? It was a little stiff on there with them two. And I really believe that, like I said, Stephen A, he didn't allude to this. And I wish Cam and Mase would have brought up the T.O. They brought up everything, but they should have brought up that Terrell Owens incident. It was a lot of incidents where I felt like Max was getting too much love. When they said that Max Kellerman, was more blacker than Stephen A. Smith, I think that was all she wrote. There was no way that these two could continue to run together. It was no way. Due to the fact of basically a public perception. I mean, Stephen A is looking silly out here. Max getting all the praise. This is supposed to be your show. Max damn near taking this thing over. And it kind of diminished him. And I know Stephen A. Smith didn't want that. Especially when you had your counterpart in Skip Bayless, front and center, the man, you understand, over there on Fox. I know the pressure was cooking on Stephen A. And I think that Max received the axe. you know, but Max was doing his thing. I mean, was he a perfect fit on First Take? No, but I mean, he did. He had some moments that he looked good. I thought that they tried to make it work, because I do remember, I thought that they, like I said, I thought they had a good bond. I don't know exactly what it was, but clearly Stephen A. didn't like Max. Now, he may not say this, but I'm saying he was saying it trying to be very polite. Where he was trying to say, like, I knew it was other landing spots for him. I didn't want him to be fired. I didn't want him, you know, he was trying to spice it up, but he just ain't want him working with him. You know, he was trying to say that, you know, just put him with anybody. He gave a list of names, Marcellus Wiley, this one, that one, you know, but just don't put him with him. That's what he was trying to make it so you can put him with Shannon Sharp. You can put, that's what I'm saying. Is Shannon Sharp coming to ESPN? You know, I'm starting to think something's going on here. It's only a couple of networks, you know, Shannon can choose from anyway, but that's neither here nor there. What I do like about the Cam and Mase situation, which was crazy, we're going to get into all the debates that they had too, because the debates was crazy, how basically they went to talk about everything, but I don't think Stephen A. would have opened up like this on any other media publication. You know, it took a guy like Cameron, you know, and Mase too, but to ask these serious questions and get serious answers, you know, and I like how Stephen A., he finally spoke on it, because we heard little rumblings and inklings, you know, clearly we knew it was some kind of something, you know, there, because not only have they not work with each other, we don't ever hear them speaking about each other much. You don't hear Max talking on Stephen A. You don't hear, you know, vice versa. You know, so it's like they kind of just cut ties, you know, with one another, and nobody really got the inside scoop or really what was the basis of it all happening. You know, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Stephen A. Smith is a legend in his own right. You know, this was a major, you know, interview for it is what it is, and legitimizing my man Cam and what Mase got going on, because I think this is the beginning. You know, when you get a guy like Stephen A., that opened up the doors for a lot, and you heard him say that a lot on the show, you know, making sure that he had to come do this, you know, and there was some more stuff, you know, this was kind of light compared to some of the other things that was said. Some of the stuff was raw. You know, he said something crazy on a particular guy. I'm going to get into it a little bit later, but it's wild. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports for more news, updates, and more. But listen, man, when he said it to his face, I knew something was real. You know, you don't talk like that if it ain't no serious problems going on. You know, and I think that Stephen A., he was just a little bit extra when it came to Max. You know, so it is what it is at the end of the day, man. It's Flight Sports. We're going to continue to bring more updates, news, and more. Make sure y'all go get up with Cam and Mase show. You know, it is what it is. You already know what it is, man. It's a hell of a show. It's Flight Sports. We're going to continue to bring an avalanche of content. You already know what it is. Peace and love.